Hello Year 6 and welcome to this week's science lesson. So today we're still on electricity and our learning intention today is can I make scientific observations? So this is the outline of the lesson, so it's 40 minutes. The resources here, there is a link there which you can follow, which I will mention later on. There are 2 challenges and extension for you to complete. To share your learning, you need to snip or take screenshots of the circuits that you make and put it into your CSL Science workbook on Google Slides with your explanations. Okay, and your teachers will give you feedback on those. So, learning intention, can I make scientific observations? So, scientific, I've got a brief definition of scientific there. So, it's looking at things, looking at the world in a systematic and logical way, and using scientific vocabulary. And at the bottom here, there is some examples of the vocabulary that you can use in your explanations. And observations, today we're going to be investigating and seeing what happens when things change or when we do things, what happens. Next slide. So this is the link that you will be using. And what this will take you to is a virtual platform where you can build electric circuits. It's important that you go on the intro, and this is what you should see. Okay, so down the left-hand side, if I go on to the next slide, down the left-hand side are your choices. So there's wire, battery, light bulb, resistor, switch, and if you go down here, there's also other things that we don't need today. On the right-hand side, here we have a show current, and we are on electrons, not conventional, and labels. And all this does is changes whether you have the labels underneath the components on the left-hand side. So the first task, challenge 1, is using the wire, and you drag them onto the screen. Using the wire, battery, and light bulb, can you make a circuit that works? When you've done that, snip or screenshot, put it into your Google Slide workbook, and write an explanation of why you think it is working. Okay, so what do electric circuits need to work? Challenge 2. Okay, now here I've kept my challenge 1 circuit. So challenge 2 is kind of investigating and observing what happens when we add batteries. So what happens to the brightness of the bulbs? What happens if we add bulbs? So we're changing the number of batteries and the number of bulbs and seeing what happens to the brightness of the bulbs. You may also notice the speed that the electrons are moving around your circuit may also change. And again, snip your 2 circuits or screenshot into your Google Slides workbook with an explanation. Okay, and the extension challenge today is to use, in a fairly simple circuit, is to use the resistor. So what is a resistor? What does a resistor do? What do you notice happening to the brightness of the bulb when you add resistors? Okay, you can also, at this point, use the voltmeters and ammeters at various points. Now, these have to go across components. You can't just put them in the wire. They have to go across the batteries or across the resistor or across the light bulb. So what do you notice happens to the volts or the amps in your circuit when you add resistors? Okay, I hope that's fairly clear. Enjoy.